okay, chat, this game is getting spicy. This game is getting spicy. Welcome back, everyone, to Random's Thoughts. We have another high-level game breakdown for you today. This time, it's our number 3 arena-ranked player, DRAGAN, versus our number 8 ranked player, gamer24x7. We'll see what they do this time on Eternal Monday, so let's get to it. So as mentioned, here we are on Eternal Monday. Before we actually jump into the action, I, of course, have to let you know that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that Phobies team does give me stuff for producing content for Phobies. I do love it anyway, so you know the story. You can check out the live stream RTChompGG over on Twitch. You can hit up my Discord. All the links for everything will be in the description. And of course, likes and subscribes always help. But we're not talking about that map. We're talking about Eternal Monday. So let's see what our players here do. So Gamer opens up with a snowball start. Gamer's name may be at the forefront of your memory because Gamer had a second place finish in Fright Night number 3. So shout out to Gamer for that. If you want to get into Fright Night, Random Thoughts Discord, as mentioned before. But things to learn, and already we're talking about, whoa, what happened to Stabby here? Look at that Stabby. Anyway, chat, this is a microscopic. This is a microscopic. We were just talking about this the other night. This is a level 6 microscopic. Like, what is happening right now, chat? The long Stabby. Yeah, the ghost Stabby. It was a funny look. I love the little things in the animation there where I pause and it's like, well, that's weird. That's the same level as your mic. It might be mine. It might be a little bit higher than mine. But the microscopic led into a Stabby of their own for our orange player. This is really interesting because you almost never see microscopic. So this could be something really cool. We have seen Gesundheits on this map from both blue and orange players. So this is kind of cool. Panic point advantage goes to our orange player, which is also a little abnormal, although not necessarily because you're recapping the center after Snowball vacates. Now, holding that is going to be the challenge. So here's the transitory turn. It's not uncommon for this to be maybe not literally these phobies, you know, an AWOL, a microscopic, and a boom this early on, but it's not uncommon to essentially have, okay, you got a turret, you have a mobile phobie, you have some assorted 1-drops, and then some other support for the other player. The other player being the orange player. The orange player now has recapped the points, but is about to give them up because the blue player has first action and is able to get the second recap. Because they took it initially, gets taken back by orange, now it goes back blue. So what is the follow-up? And that's where we see the boom. In addition, we see a bank. Aside from the boom, we see a bank, which is going to be relevant. What does our orange player have up their sleeve for 5 keys? With the keys that were banked from Gamer, they elect to go with Ginsting. Definitely makes sense. I had to think for a second because I almost said Gesundheit again, but we have a microscopic on board, so obviously it can't be that. And boom comes in order to... Ooh, okay. Chat, this game is getting spicy. This game is getting spicy. We have a Smiley. Smiley coming out with 2-dimensional phobies on board, one of which is very, very slow. Yeah, Smiley is a big threat right now. The question is, does Gamer want the microscopic? If you go for the microscopic, Smiley connects on 2 things, which you can't have. So they elect to play it safer, bring out a Contortio. Ginseng can't AoE? Exactly. I mean, it can, but it's not going to be very happy about it. It's not going to be happy about it. So the Ginsting, or the Ginsting, the Contortio does what you'd expect Contortio to do. That is, it's going to recap points. But how defensive is DRAGAN going to play this Smiley? This is actually a really cool strategy. And so one thing we'll have to see as this game progresses. I would have to go look if DRAGAN does a 1-drop plus microscopic opener commonly on this map. Because I don't know if this is they've noticed, because when you get to the top of the ladder, you start playing a lot of the same people a lot frequently. So it makes sense that you would pick up on tendencies for certain players in general, and then also on certain maps. So maybe the microscopic is a response to gamer, or the microscopic could be their standard opener, because it's abnormal enough that it's probably throwing people off. The smiley could be a response to the particular set of phobies that gamer presented, or again, it's reasonable enough that it could be a normal strategy. The other oddball thing is now Blinky. This is a level 10 Blinky. We'll see how the Blinky comes in. I don't know if I can see flyer strats on Eternal Monday. I could see them being very valuable. The thing is it's entirely possible that the smiley is not that good. The reason I say that is somebody could just go into... where did this start the turn? Oh, it started too far. I was going to say, can't you just hit the jar? It's entirely possible people just go into Hevo, where I've been using a lot of the full disclosure aliens, such as Inoculus and Repeller, that sort of thing. So, obviously, Smiley's not so great there. And the reason I don't have the camera on, and you may have heard me sniffling a little bit, and I apologize if that's the case, my allergies are killing me. I'm just not feeling great, so no camera this time. So we're getting the softening up of the smiley, as you'd expect. 14, little under 1,500 health. Little under 1,500 health. But honestly, as long as the smiley is a threat, it feels as though DRAGAN is winning this game. Because there are so many things that are arguably invalidated by the smiley's mere existence. You can't really go in. Now, it's 9 keys remaining to 6. DRAGAN does need to make something happen. They can't play passively the entire game. Because otherwise, they're just going to lose the key trading exchange until that Hevo comes out. So unfortunately, this might just be where the error comes in. Clearly, that Hevo was intended to body block. Maybe not. I don't know. The hit on Smiley here with the jar, I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe it was worth it to sacrifice at this point, because you can probably clean up the Blinky. Yeah, you should be able to clean up the Blinky and lay into the Smiley. But you're not going to kill it. You're not going to kill the smiley unless you allow something to get diseased. And it looks like it's going to be this stabby.
That was glorious.
So this is the weird thing. Trying to measure how valuable was that smiley, it ultimately will trade, air quotes, with the stabby. So key negative, but it exerted so much influence that maybe that's fine. So this is 1,200 damage going down on this Hevo. Oh my god, that's a dead Hevo. How much health did this have at the start of the turn? Oh, it was a little beat up. It was a little beat up. So this is something that I was discussing with a few other people, Akune in particular, but other people as well offline. And it's come up on stream. Trying to find and assess when you are going to be, or can set up advantageous trades. Obviously, yeah, I want to trade well, and I want to have my opponent trade poorly. Yeah, duh. That's axiomatic in the game of Phobies, right? However, the difference is there are times where, such as that smiley setup, where it's not necessarily glaringly obvious that our orange player is going to come out ahead or not. In this particular case, it still seems like they are. They are up. Well, it's 0 keys to 0 keys. There is a 1 key, a sacrificial phobie, we'll say, on the board for our blue player. But by the same token, this stabby is dead this turn. So that means you're going to get the cleanup here, and it's just a question of can you eliminate the Jin Sting? Because yes, the Thunder Rocks is a threat to Bowmangles, sort of. But you can burn it down pretty quickly. 10 turns remaining in this game, chat. So Henrietta goes down. We get the body block. This makes sense. Although the baby Snakey may eat it. Fireball is up. You obviously... Wow, this is a pretty high level Gin Sting. This is a level 13 Gin Sting. 503 on bees! You can tell my throat is strained. Anyway. And then even just the hits from this. I mean, yeah... Baby is pretty tanky, but it's down to 1,300 health. So, like, this is a dead baby Snakey, if they want it. If our blue player wants it. Bees! I haven't seen one of those in a while. GG. Alright, so they... Ultimately, we get a reposition from the Thunder Rocks. Obviously, a beatdown goes down on baby Snakey. Panic point advantage for our blue player. And the Thunder Rocks is in position to now connect with the Bowmangles, barring something happening. This is the weird part. So does this Bowmangles... It's a 1,700 health Bowmangles. Bees is down, so that's about 1,000... This should be a dead Bowmangles? Wait, what? Am I missing something? Wait. Why wouldn't you just kill this? Oh, man. Actually, yeah, that's probably true, Roxbridge. I didn't realize how low these were until I was looking at chat and then I looked back. No, you have enough damage, but Roxbridge is right. So, you hit this because it's going to be at like 600 health. So it's 813. It's going to take 230. It's actually going to be less than 600. Then it dies in one hit. The microscopic will not die to the Thunder Rocks pull, and then it's in range to kill the Gin Sting. So this actually makes sense. This makes sense. Yeah, I didn't realize the health, and so I'm glad that I did. Glad that I checked it. Because we were looking at it, in my head, I was thinking Gin Sting had way more health, but clearly not. How much damage is the Thunder Rocks? 266, so we wouldn't kill this, because remember, it's not going to take the electrical. Although that's a good question. Do you take... If Bowmangles kills the Thunder Rocks, do you take the electrical damage? So now, I don't know if Orange player can lose. I guess if our blue player waits long enough, or hauls ass across the map. So, if they went here, they can't go here. They can't, because they'll get caught by this. Huh. Triple panic point advantage. Electrical doesn't count for death effect. I didn't think so, but it's something that comes up so rarely. Little bees action going. But here's the problem. Thunder Rocks? Don't think you're getting it done, buddy. Do you actually have enough damage? Just get the walk away. Literally just walk away from the Thunder Rocks.
When the juice gets flowing, the phobies start glowing.
That's a really weird thing to say there, Lippy. Wow, this game, chat. This game. We gotta go back in and look at this. We gotta go back in and look at this. This is busted. That was a really... I can see why it was favored on the profile. A little chomp action for that one. So we're jumping back in. We're jumping back in. Where did this game turn? Because this was very, very close. The microscopic, notably, made it all the way to the end. The microscopic only died on the penultimate turn. Or maybe it was 2 turns beforehand, but like it made it basically all the way to the end. So I don't know what Gamer's collection is, but so let's say we get the Smiley this turn. On this turn, Smiley's on the board, you have 4 keys. I'm going to assume the Gamer does not have Innocuous. That's a Strunk virus. Yep. If there's no Innocuous, how else do you answer this? Hevo, right? The Hevo we saw earlier, or later, rather. I think you need to bank for Hevo and get it on board. I don't remember when the Hevo comes out. 3 key, like, getting the jar I don't think helps. I get why you want a jar. Maybe the jar is fine, because you're able to poke at the Smiley. But this part of the game definitely felt like a normal Eternal Monday game where 1 keys are getting traded back and forth. I don't know that... I think up to this point, I agree with basically everything the players were doing, other than the oddball Phobie choices, just because that's an unknown to me at this stage, when we watched it the first time. But I think it's this turn, this Gamer turn, that I don't quite agree with. The reason I don't agree with it is I get you body block with the Hevo, but you don't really body block. I mean, you weren't body blocking anything to begin with. The big issue here is clearly Blinky just gets in. And yes, Blinky will die as a result of this, as we see later. But this feels like it was a turning point in the game. At the time, I don't know that it was obvious. Because again, like I mentioned in the first portion, it's tough to say how much this Blinky, or the Smiley influenced the game, right? Because that ultimately looked like a bad trade. It's 5 keys here for like 1,000,000 keys here, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll take a 5 for 12 trade. That seems pretty good. The problem is it doesn't stay a 5 for 12 trade. And this is what I was talking about in the initial part of the breakdown, that these sort of scenarios, I have to imagine DRAGAN went into this and said, yes, this is a worthwhile expenditure for me. I know what my follow-up is, and I'll be in a good position afterwards. But honestly, I don't have Smiley, so I don't clearly play Smiley in a lot of scenarios because I don't have it. I don't even play against it all that often. I'm not clear that, excuse me, let me rephrase that. I'm not sure that that was clearly a positive interaction. Positive for the orange player. As in, could you see that going in? Maybe, DRAGAN, if you're watching this, let us know. Or let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Is it really obvious? Is it that obvious? So the walk away here from DRAGAN was also a really good play. I have to wonder, like, is the rest of this game just logical turns? Because this is where the Thunder Rocks rotates, and I kind of agree with Gamer pulling it back, because Thunder Rocks kind of needs to connect with this Bowmangles. So you take the kill here, rotate away. Like, the rest of these turns, once we established how little health each of these had, makes sense. It might have, maybe Gamer needed to on this turn. So instead of just retreating, like, don't even hit this. They're at 3,300. Maybe split your forces. So send the Thunder Rocks here. Send Jin Sting. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be here. And it would die, so you can't do that. Nope, that wouldn't work either. I don't know. This was very well played by both players. This is really cool. If you're out there watching this, I would review this one. There's a lot of cool things to learn. There were a lot of interesting strategies employed by our orange player and a lot of cool plays on both sides. Shout out to both players. But that's going to do it for this particular breakdown. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.